Our Thursdays start with Kane Corns. Hello to you, Kane.
What a week, Jared. Thanks for having me.
What a week indeed. How are you reading the Clarkson scenario?
Well, I don't know. Everyone's wondering what's going on. They have done a great job of keeping the cards pretty close to the chest. Look, from the North Melbourne people that you speak to, they're incredibly confident and feel like they're much further down the road, and this has been in place for 3-4 weeks, and the negotiations. For Essendon fans, they're probably going, well, we wouldn't be doing all of this if we couldn't land Alistair Clarkson. So I've got no idea which way it is going to go. I think if you're a neutral in all this and you're putting yourself in Alistair Clarkson's shoes, there is only one job to take, though, aren't you? And if you're North Melbourne, you go, okay, well, yeah, I understand your perspective. I understand if you're Essendon, but he would have to choose Essendon, wouldn't he? Like if his whole thing about getting back into coaching, which he has said is about winning another premiership and adding to that legacy, then Essendon absolutely gives him the best opportunity to do that. I get the romantic side of the things that he played for North Melbourne, but that's about it, really, isn't it? Like Essendon has a better list. They have more resources. They're a much bigger club. They play in the marquee games, including Anzac Day, and we know Alistair Clarkson, with taking his players to Kokoda, and he's a lover of the history and that side of things, so he gets to play there, he gets to play in the other marquee games. They haven't won a final since 2004, so the upside and the hero that he would be if he finally gave Essendon the success that they needed in September. So I just think the opportunity for him to have success is with Essendon. Now, that's completely from a neutral perspective, and people say, well, how can he make a decision in 3 days and choose Essendon? Like, they're in chaos. But, like, North Melbourne still don't have a list manager, do they? And a few recruiters, and there's uncertainty about their CEO. It's not all smooth sailing at North Melbourne. They don't have all the pieces in place. Yes, carnage at both clubs. That's what happens when you sack a coach. But I just couldn't see a reason why Alistair Clarkson would choose North Melbourne over Essendon.
It's such an interesting observation to make, Kane, because there has been this assertion of North Melbourne is the picture of stability versus Essendon, but that is not the case. What they have been is much more organised and professional in their approach, and Sonia Hood has handled it. But there is the broad expectation that the CEO is on his way out, and the holes, as you point out, in the recruiting department, which is there in talent acquisition phase without those acquiring talent.
So the opportunity to bounce quicker up the ladder is with Essendon and instantly at North Melbourne. There would be less pressure if he went to North Melbourne. You get a longer term, I guess, before the expectations are there. But the prospect of Clarkson coaching Essendon, someone pointed it out this week, and I'd love to reference who it was. It might have been yourself, Jared, that the rivalry and getting one back over Jeff Kennett, thinking that he left Hawthorn in ordinary circumstances. The ultimate payback to Jeff would be for him to go and coach the Bombers. Was that
yes,
you?
Yeah,
it was you.
I wasn't sure whether Luke Hodge would go there or not, but he did. Right. He went straight there. His mind was thinking just like that.
I love that. So look, it's fascinating. Congratulations to whoever gets him. I don't care who it is. Whoever does, it's a good call. It's a good move for both clubs to go and get Alistair Clarkson. And whoever gets them deserves the credit, and then you get down to work.
Who's the fallout? Well, the fallout is significant for both. If one is going to miss, how bad is it for the team who misses?
Well, I love Sonia Hood's response there. Like, just calm, collected. It's not the be all and end all. I think it probably is more so for Essendon because how quickly they've acted. So it's quite embarrassing for them if they miss. So I think they would have to pick themselves up for it. For North Melbourne, it's more like, well, they were going to make this decision anyway, regardless of whether Alistair Clarkson was there, and they've been more methodical about it. But the fact that they haven't thought yet about Plan B, with all the big looming decisions as well, player retention, who stays on the list, what are you going to do at draft time? Trade period's going to be the busiest trade period we've ever seen. So it does leave you behind the eight ball, really, doesn't it, for both clubs? Who's more riding on it? If I had to call it, probably Essendon over the events of the last week. But it's not ideal, is it, for either club? Have you got a feel for it? Like, if you had to,
no,
I know we're guessing. Yeah.
I'd only be guessing. I would probably guess Essendon, but I'm assuming there's been stuff happening behind the scenes, but I don't know. And there's no reading Clarkson's mind. There are no tells with Clarkson and the way he does it. So it is impossible to know, which is what makes it's doubly captivating for that reason. Yeah. Is there's theories abound, and I have enjoyed the North Melbourne community, which is so all in, and I am admiring of it. But Wayne Carey saying yesterday, well, he can't come this far with us and then backflip. Well, what's he backflipping on? It's the process of interviewing and exploring a job. It's a profession, not a devotion. So I think it's been framed in a really curious way. And there is a bit of emotional blackmail going on, but Clarkson's impervious to all of that. He'll make the decision that best suits his coaching. And that is, for me, that's the only measure.
Wonder if there's some other clubs as well going, did we go a bit early with Brett Radden? It's all difficult because you're speaking about people's jobs, but Stewie Dew at Gold Coast, not that he was probably ever going to leave Victoria, as you broke during the week about GWS, so it was unlikely he was going to the Gold Coast. But as we have spoken all year about which way is he going to go and the amount of jobs that might be available, in the end it came down to 2. When we thought it was probably going to be more than that. So I just wonder if other clubs are looking back going, maybe we should have been in this when we were never a shot. So let's see how it plays out. But yeah, an incredible week. Clearly everyone feels for Ben Rutten and the way that he's been treated at the Bombers, and you feel like they need to make that call pretty soon. You would think, I can't believe he's still coaching there with what has gone on since Sunday night's game against Port.
So it looks like he is going to be coaching Saturday night. As time goes on, this is not going to reach any sort of flashpoint today, from what I can understand. So that puts him in the coach's box on Saturday night.